Hey YouTube, so this is the other guy coming to you today. So in today's episode, we are talking about beginner mechanic and repair manual. For the beginner mechanic, many of us have the opportunity to take automotive class while we were in high school or at city college or in college somewhere. Okay, and so we have an opportunity to learn about the mechanics of the engine, the theories of an engine, and stuff like that, the fundamental. But majority of us didn't have an opportunity to take those classes, and so now we have a car, and how do we start? So if you are watching this video, chances are you want to know how to fix your car, and you have a car that is probably giving you issues and you don't know where to start, how to start, and when to start. So I'm hoping to shed some light into you to give you some ideas on how to start this journey. Uh, a little bit about me. I don't like to talk about me a lot, but anyway, with me, I started mechanic working on cars when I was 14. I had an opportunity to take an automotive class when I was in high school, ninth grade high school, at my local high school here. And so I took automotive 1, 2, and 3 uh, up until my junior year. I took 3 courses and I loved it. Uh, it's helped me through my years, and I've been captivated with fixing cars since then. Okay, so but that's just me. So but for those who do not have those background, uh, how do you go about finding fixing cars, and how do you go about diagnosing your car? So I want to take this opportunity to talk to you about repair manuals. See, unbeknownst to you guys, probably, uh, I do use repair manuals. So this is a Toyota Highlander for my wife's SUV. Okay, it's a repair manual. This is for my truck. It's a repair manual. Believe it or not, master mechanics also use repair manual. Okay, and this is for my 4Runner. That's in the back. Okay, so why is it important to have a repair manual? Because it tells you, it shows you how to repair your car. Okay, and if you've ever looked into one, here it tells you in chapter 1 right here, it tells you how to maintain your car, how to tune your car and stuff like that, intervals, changing oil, stuff like that. Okay, so if you find yourself clueless as to how to fix your car, go to your local auto parts store, pick up a Haynes Manual. Now, nobody is sponsoring me to say this to you. I'm just doing it as a public service thing to educate you so that you know where to start. This is a foundation for everybody who wants to learn how to fix their own car. It's got step-by-step procedures on how to remove a certain thing, on and how to repair a certain thing. Okay, and it's got it has diagnostic as well. Um, let's see. I'll show you. Um, okay. Here's this troubleshooting. Okay, the beginning of the books here. Each books, it has troubleshooting, and if you have any issues with your car, there's topics right here that can give you ideas on what's wrong with your car. When I first started, fixing cars in the ninth grade, even though I was taking those classes, my teacher wasn't with me, and so I bought a repair manual, and it was for my dad's old Dodge van. I think it was a '76 Dodge van, and that monster dies a lot, and so I had to figure out how to fix that thing. And how I figured that out is buying a repair manual for it. and it really helped me. Like for example, number 7 right here, it says engine starts but stops immediately. So it gives you diagnostics right here, now how to diagnose your car, and stuff like that. Okay, so now if you are a little bit more advanced than that, and you are asking questions like, okay, how about this bolt? How many foot-pounds do I tighten this bolt, right? So I'll show you here on these books right here. I know that many of you, for many of you, this is just elementary for you. But for those who are beginning to work on your car, you'll find this information very informational. Well, let's see. Engine electrical system. This helps you determine what's wrong with your car, and like for example, primary resistance. If you have any tester, it helps you test your car, ohm your car, and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm trying to look for and emission hoses, stuff like that. Okay, so okay, so let's say you're working on your transmission, right? And you are wondering the torque specs on your transmission, for the bell housing. So this thing right here, the torque spec is always on the first page of the chapter, and it says here torque specs. Okay, torque specification. So bell housing, it tells you, depending on what type of bell housing it is, 37 to 50 foot-pounds of torque right here. Okay, so and when it's not foot-pounds of torque, it'll indicate inch-pound of torque. So you'll need a torque pound for a torque wrench for foot-pounds of torque, and you'll need a torque wrench for inch-pound of torque, depending on what you do. So yeah, this is very informational. If you are a beginning mechanic and you want to learn how to fix your car, get a repair manual. You can get a Chilton repair manual. You can even get a Haynes repair manual. To me, okay, this is just my bias. I have a Chilton repair manual up there as well in my garage, but I use the Haynes manual more often because I'm more used to the format of it. Okay, so let's say you're working on a clutch and your driveline. So the first page of every chapter, these are the specs, the torque specs, right? So let's see. I want to find something very easy for us to look at. Okay. All right. Sorry. Okay. So clutch type, right? Because if you have a stick shift, you'll you'll have clutch fluid, right? And right here it says to use .3 brake fluid. So this tells you really in depth, and it's really easy to just spot and fix your car. Like, so for example, torque specification here, drive shaft center support bearing. Step 1 is 123 foot-pounds to 144 foot-pounds here. Okay, let's see, and here the spindle mount bolt is 29 to 39 foot-pounds. So like I said, the first page of every chapter, it shows you the specs on tightening the bolt. Okay, in here it's got like exploded view of the clutch. Okay, and that's how it should go in. So it shows you how the mechanics of your clutch is like, and when you install them, it shows you how they should go. Okay, so then if you look at the end of the repair manual, it's got electrical diagram where you can trace each line to where, and if you have a short, it really helps out. It really helps you locate the short, okay, based on the diagram. So here is an exploded view of the transmission, okay, and that's how it should look like. The gears, the seals, and everything, okay. And this is for a 4Runner or a pickup truck. So this book is not as in depth as a Toyota repair manual from the dealer, but this is enough for the common man like you and I to help us along so that we don't have to constantly visit the mechanic shop. So that's just my advice on folks who are beginning to learn how to fix their cars. I'd say go and get a book like this or like this, a book that is about your car, and learn to fix your car through reading these. That's how I did it before YouTube exists. You can use YouTube as well, but there's a lot of things on YouTube that the YouTuber that makes the video do that doesn't show the right specs or doesn't show the specs on certain things, and especially tightening stuff. And to me, my experience with tightening bolts is that if you're just guessing the torque, you'll run into a lot of problem because you have to have it torqued at the right foot-pound of torque. If you don't do that, number one, if it's too loose, later down on the line, it'll vibrate loose and you'll have a catastrophic failure. And if you tighten it too tight, the bolt might break. Okay, and so that's just my encouragement to you. I know this video is a little bit long, but for those who are beginning to do their own mechanical work on your car, and starting to ask a lot of questions, going to those Facebook forum to ask those questions can be answered really easily by buying a book like this. I'll be honest with you, my truck, my Tundra, is the year 2000, and I bought this book in the year 2001 when it first came out. And so you can see that I've taped it with clear tape. Try to save this book as much as I can. Tape that too. I don't know if you can see the glint here. And so this book has helped me save a lot of money. Okay, so like I said, nobody is paying me to do this video. Nobody is sponsoring me, but I feel like I'm beating a dead horse right now, but I'm doing this so that if you are a beginning mechanic, you can get help. Okay, instead of asking somebody constantly on a forum, you can get help by just reading your own book. So let me know what your thoughts are, guys. This video by no means is meant to belittle you. By no means is meant to make fun of you. It's just how I learned how to fix cars when I was younger. I've been doing this since I was 14. And so I'm not a master mechanic. I'm not a mechanic by profession. I'm just a guy who likes to tinker. And if you are watching my show, you're probably a guy who likes to tinker just like me. So let me know what your thoughts are. Keep the negative on the down low, and also make sure it's family friendly because I have a lot of children who watch my show as well. So anyway, let me know what your thoughts are.